Let's now shift over to the awesome 50th anniversary celebration of KISS performing at Lafayette's. It was epic. We already had Thomas Halfacre on here, so we covered a lot of the staging stuff, the amazing KISS light and sign and everything. But I would love to now talk about this with you. A, because you were on the stage the whole night. You were the only person that stayed the entire time as Ace Frehley. I'm going to throw a picture up. You did a great job. You're playing, your look, it was awesome. But then also, much like all these stories we're telling, you're the man behind so much of this organization or the collaboration and coordination of these things. So, A, thank you for doing that. What was the spark that kind of started this idea?
Thomas Halfacre.
Yeah, there he is.
It was Thomas's idea.
Cool.
To do.
I should remember this. He told us this probably, Jeff.
That's fine.
I've slept since then. So
yeah, and he had, and you guys know how I get about doing fun stuff like that. So he had mentioned that he was thinking about doing something months and months before we really got into it.
And I remember this now because he made it very clear. He came to you and he was like, "Don't do anything yet."
I remember that.
Don't start yet. That. Don't start yet.
Yeah,
because he knew that you were just then be like a Spitfire and just go for it. Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
But then I think he said this too. But we did a couple of Tommy Award planning meetings for this year, and I asked him about it in one of those, and then he was like, "All right, fine." So
nice impression. I like that.
I didn't have to do all that much of that. I mean, I basically made a bunch of the calls for the bands and then suggested a song list and organized a lot of that. That's what I did with that, and then played in the house band too.
And
so
you were there for the entire evening,
pretty much. Yeah,
cool.
There were just a couple people came up for encores that were. I think then Charlie Bell come up, people like that.
He was called up. And Scott Sudbury came up, and there was a bunch of guitar players that came up. But I remember you playing every song. No,
almost. There were a couple cases.
Really?
Because we had some of the guests just sang. Some of the guests play guitar. In the cases where they play guitar, Seth and I basically split out. So for instance, he played on the Josh Haynes songs. I played on the Scott Sudbury songs.
Oh, that's right.
Okay.
And then Nick Ireland came up. Did you play with Nick?
No, because he had Nick playing, and he
had
so we did a little swapping.
You left such an impression on me, Paul. I just felt like you were up there the whole time.
But probably 80%.
Yeah, for sure.
Seth 80%, and then so forth. Jimmy and Ronnie, I guess, did about
but it moved along. Like it was just on point.
Yep, and that's that same old. Help everybody understand what they're supposed to do, and and a lot of that. I mean, all these events we've talked about. It's a tribute. You guys already know that and that's really why we're here, right? But I mean, the quality of people and the quality of players is just so strong. Yes. And it makes it really easy.
The Pete Mondello celebration of life that as we record this was just a few weeks ago.
Yep.
Went off without a hitch.
Yep.
Mr. Jeff Ward played role as Paul Moreau for that.
So
he did a great job.
Couldn't be happier with everybody that participated. They just showed up and did their job.